If you're a struggling parent and you know you want more, but you don't know where to start, I assure you, I know exactly how that feels. My name's Kellow-Webb, and in 2020, my 11-year business got put to bed because of COVID, and I then managed to build a six-figure network marketing business in about 2 years, which also disappeared literally overnight. And I found myself at the age of 54, 55, having to start all over again. And I had to take the choice of getting back into the 9 to 5, going back to a teaching career that I never envisaged. But deep down, the goal was always to break out of the financial system, because that was something that I'd been thinking about for many years and had been trying to navigate. And in 2023, I thought I'd made it six figures. I thought I'd finally cracked the code, but I realized I didn't control the business. I wasn't in charge. And that was a bitter pill. And then I spent a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort trying different things online, trying different programs, different businesses, and nothing seemed to work. And all the time I felt more frustrated, more um, alone, and overwhelmed, because I realized that I wasn't making the headway that I thought I should. And I was shooting all over myself because my peers were all approaching retirement, creating the lifestyles and incomes that I thought was really, really important to me. And then I discovered a business model that I thought could really make a difference. I found a way to earn online that didn't require the hustle, the chasing, the direct messaging, the trying to convince friends and family that had helped build my network marketing business. It also promised a done for you system. It was a system that was already created. I didn't have to go and have the know-how, the experience, the tech skills to build landing pages and funnels and websites. It literally said it was a done for you. And finally, what it also promised was that you got to keep 100% of the profit. And having fallen for many get rich quick schemes, trying to take too many shortcuts in the past, I did my research. I watched and I waited for 6 months before I finally contacted the person to find out more. And in fact, the person who was streaking away on social media, creating a new business, sharing what they were doing, was actually an old acquaintance of mine. But I didn't quite believe it. But when I did finally decide, I jumped in, and what I discovered was that was even better than I imagined, because it came with a community that is now over 60,000 people. So that showed me that it was a business system, it was a model that was proven, it worked. And I didn't have to create anything. It meant that I could actually work from my phone, from my laptop, and all I needed to do was 2 hours of activity a day, which to me was a no-brainer, considering I was spending 2 hours a day commuting, 8 hours at work, and missing out on being at home, missing out on connecting with my kids, missing out on trying to create those memories and those moments that I really hold dearly. Because I'm a father, I'm 56, and I thought, can I do this at this stage in life? The answer is yes, you can. So fast forward, and last year I got started and then had to stop because I had a bereavement. My dad passed away and had to deal with lots of stuff. So my system was set up, and then there was a holiday, and then we came back to it. And what I learned over that period was that I still had leads coming in. I still had people connecting with my website. That was working for me all the time. And that was a real eye opener because I realized that automation is freedom. Call it the freedom machine, because while I was engaged and busy dealing with my father's death and all the subsequent challenges that that brought, I still had a business that was functioning. Got started again towards the end of 2025, and then Christmas arrived and had a major um, mental health sort of challenge, and being diagnosed with clinical depression meant that I had to take time out from social media, time out from building a business, time out from literally everything while I got the right treatment, while I got myself sorted out. And again, during that period, my lead machine was still working. There were still people getting emails, there were still people connecting with my automation system. And I think that is a game changer. In fact, I don't think it, I know it. And over the past 6 weeks, as I've got back into my activities, into my business building activities, that process has just started to amplify and expand and evolve. And I'm sharing this with you because this is not about sales. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I do not want to get and have not wanted to be involved in sales. Um, it's something that I feel doesn't need to be done. And this system supports that, because all I do is attraction marketing, sharing the information, putting stuff out there, and allowing people to connect with the website, to connect with the blueprint, to make decisions, to get informed for themselves. And that is aligned with my principles. It allows me the freedom to go about my day-to-day life, my activities, my rugby coaching, my family, without having to get on calls and sell to people, without having to hustle people, without having to persuade or convince. I'm more than happy to answer questions, answer emails, if that's what people want. But the automated system works on its own. So here's why I'm sharing this, because we live in a digital age. Everybody pretty much is connected in some way or form to email, to social media. Our lives are literally run by our phones. And what I've realized is that if I'm on my phone, if somebody's on their phone scrolling, researching, looking, they could be putting that phone to use. It could be making that phone help them earn an income. And if you're somebody who doesn't know where to start, if you're somebody who knows they were meant for more, they want more, whether that's freedom, peace, experiences, time with family, or income, then the digital space is a massive, massive market. It's $1 billion a day industry, and it's only going to get bigger. And one of the number one research topics on Google is digital marketing, attraction marketing. Because people are realizing they need to know how to market, how to build a digital business. And what it means is that you don't have to go and create anything with the system. This Legacy Builder program provides you with an educational program that can be applied to any business. If I'd known about it 10 years ago for my natural therapy business, gosh, don't know, that'd be a very different story. And it is accessible. There are no overheads. Yes, there is a one-off expense, but towards the end of last year, having dived back into the system within 6 weeks, my customer, my first customer, meant that I had recouped my expenditure, my purchase cost. So I broke even with my first customer. That is a game changer. And that really helped me understand that, yes, you get 100% profit, and that you can build a business with no overheads, with no monthly fees. You pay for a website, you pay for the program, they're one-off costs, and then you're supplied with an automated system, okay? Email system that works for you, a landing page that works for you. And the rest really is about learning new skills. And in the middle of 2025, the dots connected for me. I realized I was chasing systems without skills, without the relevant skills. And the skill sets now have changed. So if you're prepared to be coachable, if you're prepared to learn new skills, if you're prepared to apply them, you can create an online business that can grow, can grow into multiple income streams. And that is something that is hugely exciting as far as I'm concerned. And it doesn't require you to be an experienced entrepreneur, a tech wizard, somebody with a huge following on social media. If you're prepared to just commit 2 hours a day to learning some new skills and following a step-by-step blueprint, it's laid out for you that anybody can follow. And I've done many programs, and this is by far the best, the simplest, the most complete and interactive program I have ever come across. And I've spent upwards of 50K on programs in the past. This far outweighs any of them and is a lot more accessible and affordable. So if you're still there thinking, I need a way out of the system, how can I break free from the system? How can I break free and break through the ceiling of income? Because I know what that's like as well. Because as a teacher, the earnings have a limit, and that is not going to meet the costs of living. That's not going to pay for the universities. That's not going to pay for the school trips. That's not going to pay for the holidays. So if you're one of those parents going, we need to find a different way, we need to find another way to generate income that's not going to cost a huge amount of time or effort or energy or money, then I'd like to share this blueprint with you. It's completely free, and it'll go through exactly how this system works and provide you with the insight and the details to make a better informed decision about whether this could be something that could serve you and serve your family. If you're wondering and thinking, Is this real? The blueprint is free. There's no obligation. All you have to do is type start in the comments below, and I'll send you through the blueprint and you can make your own mind up. As I said, this is something for those people who are stuck, worried, overwhelmed, don't know how they're going to get ahead, and they know that they want more and they deserve more, not just for themselves, but for their families as well. Because I've researched many opportunities, many online opportunities, and they required too much money. They required paid ads. This doesn't require paid ads. This is all organic. This is all done with attraction marketing. And they didn't provide the training that this program does. So I'd just like to share it with you. Type start in the comments below and I'll send it through to you.